In this video, we're going to look at how to evaluate functions at specified values. And the function that we're going to use is f of x is equal to x squared minus 10x minus 3. And we're going to use that to find the f of negative 1, the f of x plus 2, and the f of negative x. So let's go ahead and start with our first one, the f of negative 1. So in the last video on this topic, I said that it's a good idea to read the function off and replace all of the x's with the word something. So when you read the f of x and read off the function, you should say the f of something is equal to something squared minus 10 times something minus 3. And so if you think of it this way, then all you're going to do is you're going to put the negative 1, or the things I have written in blue, in the place of the somethings when you read it off. So when we come to x squared or something squared, we're going to put a negative 1 in the place of x, or in the place of something. So we'll have negative 1 squared minus 10 times something minus 3. So everywhere we have an x, we're just going to put negative 1. And then we're going to simplify this as much as we can. So negative 1 squared is going to become positive 1. Negative 10 times negative 1 is going to be plus 10. And then the minus 3 comes right on over. And then 1 plus 10 is going to be 11, minus 3 is going to be 8. And so our answer is 8 for the first one. So we're going to apply the same principle to our second problem. We want to find the f of x plus 2. And so everywhere we have an x in the original problem, or everywhere we have a something, we're going to put x plus 2. So it's really important when we do the something squared that we put the x plus 2 in parentheses. And you'll see why in just a minute. So something squared minus 10 times, again, we want to put the x plus 2 in parentheses, minus 3. Now the unfortunate part of this problem is we've already input the x plus 2 everywhere we had a something in the original problem, but we need to simplify this. And before we can simplify it, we kind of have to make it look a little bit worse. The first thing is the x plus 2 squared can be rewritten as x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 2. And as you can see in the next step, we're going to have to FOIL that. We can distribute the negative 10 to both of our terms in our second term overall, and that'll give us negative 10 times x. And negative 10 times 2 will give us minus 20. And then we can bring the minus 3 right on over. So now you can see why I left a little bit of extra space for this one. So coming down, continuing to simplify, we're going to FOIL the x plus 2 multiplied by x plus 2, the first, outer, inner, and last terms. So x times x will give us x squared. X times 2 will give us plus 2x. 2 times x for the inner will give us plus 2x again. And then the 2 times 2 will give us 4, so plus 4. Now we can go ahead and bring down the negative 10x. And I'm going to go ahead and combine the like terms, negative 20 minus 3. And that's going to give us minus 23. And so now we have a few terms that we can combine that are like terms again. We have a 4 and a negative 23. And we have a few terms that contain an x. So we can combine those terms in our next step. So our final answer is going to be x squared. We have 2x plus 2x, that's going to be 4x. Minus 10x is going to give us minus 6x. And then 4 minus 23 will give us negative 19. And so x squared minus 6x minus 19 is going to be our final answer, or our most simplified form of the answer. Now the nice thing about the way I ordered these problems is we've already gotten the bad one out of the way. So f of negative x is not really going to be that much of a problem compared to the second one. So again, we're just going to put negative x in all of the places where we have an x in the original function, or all of the places where we have a something, if you want to refer to it in that manner. So f of x is equal to x squared, so we're going to have negative x squared. Again, you want to put that in parentheses. Minus 10 times negative x minus 3. And now we just need to simplify. It'll only be a couple of steps. Negative x times negative x will be positive x squared. Negative 10 times negative x is going to be positive 10x. And then the minus 3, we just rewrite that. Now we have no other terms that we can simplify, or that we can like terms that we can combine. And so our answer is x squared plus 10x minus 3. And that's it.